you could smell the fear. You could smell the fear, Carmen Vitali, all the way from Green Bay and Fond du Lac and anywhere else in Wisconsin. You could smell the fear.
Yeah.
And then Packers fans would try to jump in and be like, we're not afraid of you. No one's scared of you and your face and your Bears team down there in Chicago. And then the Bears won the game. And then it was like, the Bears might have a quarterback, and that could be a problem for us because this whole time, the advantage that the Packers have had is that they've drafted really well, and especially
picture-perfect quarterback stability.
Yep, just from one quarterback to the next. And the quarterback they have now, I think pretty good.
Yeah. I bought in on Jordan Love very, very early, and I still feel good about it. He's had some injury issues over the last couple of seasons, but when you talk about a guy that can process, that is still ascending, hasn't even come close to his ceiling, I would be fine with Jordan. I would be happy with Jordan Love.
You're right.
If as a fan of my team, anybody I feel like should be happy with Jordan.
But yet, in a game where he threw for 4 touchdowns and 300 something yards, his team lost.
Yeah, it's a team game
in a playoff game to the Bears.
Yeah,
which you can imagine has stung real hard to anyone who is associated with the Packers. And to me, this is the fun of it. The fun of it is that they have to sit with it.
Right.
And it's not just like the get back doesn't even come in the regular season. Mm-hmm. You go ahead and win those games in the regular season now. The get back can't come until next January for the Packers. So anyone who's a Packer or an ex-Packer or a Packer supporter, they've got to try to come to grips with the fact that the NFC North no longer belongs to them, which they had to come to grips with a couple years ago.
I know, when the Detroit Lions got up there.
And you look, and if you're them, you look up and you go, have we been passed by everybody? And a week ago, a lot of those people up there, they were like, get LaFleur up out of here, even though he's 40 games above 500.
That had started mid-season. So I do a Packers podcast during the season every week with Andy Herman, does a great job for Pack-A-Day. And it allows me to be a little more plugged into the Packers fan base. And when the Packers went through that losing streak in the middle of the season, Matt LaFleur, his head was on a spike for a lot of people. And it's really funny because I've always said, and I've said it on that show even, I'm like, Packers fans are spoiled. That's not a bad thing. That just means that you have a very stable organization that has breeded success for decades at this point. But I think that's what's so hard to come to grips with for Packer fans or former Packer players, is because for much of my life, almost all of my life, the Packers have won when it mattered. Always. I even go back to the 2003 NFC Championship game, where that's something the Bears had to sit in for the night, like the season. This has been such a lopsided rivalry that Packers fans don't really understand a world or have not experienced a world where the Bears are someone that is actually a team to be taken seriously when it matters on top of that. And they're not used to having to sit with something for a year because the Bears knocked them out of that season and brought about all of this discussion about if their coach should be fired and kind of exposed a lot of their weaknesses.
Yes.
That was the other thing too. These teams matched up really well, and the Bears were able to expose some of the deficiencies that the Packers had.
A couple of things before we hear from Clay Matthews again.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do, because it illustrates the point. 708 Texter says, as a Cubs fan as well, this is how I feel about losing to the Brewers. Sitting with it.
Yeah.
Yes. And it won't be, I guess in the Cubs case, it would be satisfying if you won the division next year because you didn't do that. But yeah, like losing a 5-game series to the Brewers, it hurts. And them flying the L flag after beating him, like that stuff hurts.
That's also why you love
Correct.
this.
You're correct.
That's why this is a rivalry. That's why you can hold on to rivalries. That's why a head coach can get behind a rivalry. That's why it's at the end of the day, this is what you want. You want Packers fans to be mad. You want to be mad. You, even as a Packers fan, you want to be mad. it's not fun if you're just sitting there like, oh, we don't have to take them seriously.
Here's a text from a Packer fan. The Packer obsession is hilarious. The only time we think of you is in Lake Geneva, the Dells, and Door County, and it isn't very nice.
Hey, I
Sir,
like Door County.
You were thinking about us enough to listen to this station and text us.
Matt LaFleur checking in with the Lake Geneva love.
Yes,
you know?
Apparently.
Really got us.
He nailed us with that one as he's listening to the Chicago station because he can't get quality coverage of Green
He doesn't
Bay.
think about the Bears.
He doesn't think
or
about
Chicago.
them at all. Not at all. He just listens to the most popular afternoon show in Chicago.
Mostly
Got
Bears
it.
fans on the radio up there anyway.
That's true. That was the other thing I wanted to get to, is that someone inside the mob said, now we've got Carmen to spy on Rami, because we know that Rami is a triple agent. So now Carmen can spy on what Rami's doing up there in Wisconsin. I think that's fair. See, she won't say a word.
I was gonna say if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
That's right. So Tanny, what's the latest crash out, as the kids would say, that a former Packer or Packers fan is having?
This is the beautiful part about it, is like you can pick from several that I've seen on my timeline the past 24 hours. So what do you want?
Which again is so much. The game was a week and a half ago.
Yeah, and one of the games that one of the players in one of these clips here was talking about was not even that game. It was the game before that game that they're still upset about.
All right, let's hear from
hear it.
Romeo Doubs.
Let's hear it.
What moments stuck out as far as like, you look at them like, oh, okay, this isn't like maybe as one-sided as it used to be?
So when I first came in, again, I'm a young player. I don't really know much. I just know to obviously go out there, play football, be a dude. And like I said, so when they took Jordan out the game, that was number one, because everybody in the world know it was a dirty hit. I mean, again, shout out to Chicago. Again, great football team, but that was number one. Obviously, like everybody in the world saw it. I saw it, you saw it. And again, it was just, I think just the energy on both ends, like, them chanting Green Bay sucks before playing the Rams. And it's just like, I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot. But the rivalry is very deep there, from the fan base to the players. And it's just so much more to it. Like, I don't even know how to really break it down, but
what are the chances you and me can like get your coach and Coach Johnson together, talk it out?
Oh my goodness. Okay, I would leave that unknown. That is not my business, because that was clearly in the air as well. But I would stay out of that.
Get your mouth shut.
So here's my thing. If there was a dirty hit, I would call it out. Okay, like the Jaquan Brisker hit on a sliding quarterback, that's a dirty hit, right? The hit that Austin Booker put on Jordan Love was just unfortunate. That's all it was. It wasn't dirty. I will tell you a hit that was dirty, and that was the hit on DJ Moore by Nixon early in the game, where he just ran right into his kidney. That was a dirty hit.
Yes, the Jordan Love hit by Austin Booker was really one of those unfortunate things where Jordan sees it too late. He instinctively just kind of tucks himself to brace for it. And in so doing that, his head goes down. And so where Austin Booker left his feet to aim is now a dangerous area.
Correct.
But at the same time, isn't this I'm not advocating necessarily for dirty hits. But what I am advocating for is...
You're not?
Energy. I'm advocating for put more hate in sports. Like, didn't Danny Parkins say this?
More hate in sports and less hate in society and everything else.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
say it in his voice. I mean, I'm so happy that you heard him say that, because I thought, it reminds me of him every time. Less hate in life.
Less hate in life, more hate in sports. That's why we love this. I remember... Back in my college days, I'd interned for the Phoenix Coyotes. They were the Phoenix Coyotes then, so to give you some timeline there. And the Blackhawks came to town, and there was a Detroit sucks chant that broke out in Phoenix. This is why you do it, because a rivalry is a rivalry no matter what. If you look at Texas A&M, Texas A&M's entire fight song is about Texas. I love it. I think it's great. I think that it's so hard to maintain a rivalry in today's NFL and today's pro sports, for that matter, just because of the transactional nature of everything. How many guys just get traded willy-nilly, coaches get fired, coaches get hired. You kind of want to cover yourself and be like, well, I could end up on that team, so I don't want to say too much. So it's hard to maintain rivalries. I think we should be thankful that we live in a city that is part of one of the last standing and, in my opinion, best rivalries in the 4 major North American sports. Thank God.
The Green Bay Sucks chant broke out at the Hawks game and the Bulls game that Caleb Williams and PCA were at.
Green Bay Sucks that chant broke out getting into the stadium. When I was getting into the stadium,
I told Spiegs, like, when you get to the Waldron deck, like,
yes.
and you walk underneath
to get to the stadium.
The
that's
chant
my route.
Usually starts,
yes,
and it echoes because of the way that it's built. That underpass, yes. Yeah. So it echoes, and people are ready to go. So yeah, like, it's become a thing, and I love Kay, but I don't need a summit between Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson.
I don't either. When she
no
said that,
more
I'm like,
Marquette games. No more, none of that.
Well, I mean, Eberflus is available. He can go to Marquette games with Matt LaFleur anytime he wants now.
No,
Marquette also sucks.
I'm
Go
with
Blue
you.
Demons.
I'm with you. I don't want there to be an amicable solution to this. I want it to grow. I want it to fester. I hope it festers with Packers fans and Packers players and all of that, because this is finally a back and forth rivalry. At least we hope, because it's been one season, so we should not get too far ahead of ourselves.
Well, it's funny that you bring up that it's still festering, because Clay Matthews is.
How long has he been gone?
He'll remind you here.
Yeah, he's going to remind you. So you remember Clay Matthews at the draft, right? And then, he said all the stuff and blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, they lose to the Bears in the playoffs. And then what happens?
I think we can all agree Bears had a tremendous year. And I think this is a good opportunity for me to just, address the Bears organization real quick to this camera right here. And Chicago, congratulations on a great year. To make it to the divisional round when I predicted that they wouldn't make the playoffs is remarkable. And you overachieved, and for all that, I want to say you're welcome. You're welcome for me sparking that match. For me, just, I may be retired, and you probably thought the rivalry was retired as well, but it wasn't. And the boos I heard at the 2025 NFL draft, they cannot drown out the decades of dominance that the Packers have had over you, okay? So Ben Johnson, I know how good it feels to beat the Packers, okay? And Caleb, to play like the Iceman, you both are welcome. And for the Chicago organization, you're welcome.
Remember, when is the lowest form of conversation?
Delulu.
We can learn so much from The Sopranos. Listen, what? Like, you realize that the boos that you heard at the draft were because you invoked the name of a certain someone who happens to be leading our country, unfortunately. But that wasn't the catalyst for the rivalry being reborn.
Where was the draft again?
It was in Green Bay.
So he's saying that it was Bears fans in Green Bay
that were booing
him
because, and that's what stoked the rivalry.
God.
How many mental gymnastics do you have to do to get there?
There's a lot. So
I'm shrill right now because I'm just in disbelief.
All right, so wait. Since we're talking about last year's draft, I mean, I feel like it's important that we, maybe give some love to someone who has an opposing viewpoint on the Bears draft in Green Bay. Green Bay, Wisconsin! Is that all you got? Come on, you can be louder than that. I know y'all mad because
championship gold looks good on the blue and orange. But in all seriousness, Green Bay, we are in the shadow of Lambeau Field. And I love Lambeau Field because the king of the North, the best quarterback in the NFC North, Caleb Williams, is undefeated at Lambeau Field. And in case y'all aren't familiar with my game, let me remind you, I am a visionary. I am a revolutionary. I am Seth freaking Rollins. And I am here to tell you that with the 56th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the greatest franchise in the NFL, the Chicago Bears, select Ozzie Tropillo, tackle from Boston College. Let's burn it down and bear down Chicago.
I love Seth freaking Rollins.
Oh my God.
And he predicted that the Bears would win the NFC North.
He did.
Unlike you, Clay.
Why is he stealing Seth's valor?
It's
still real to me, damn it.
It is.
Thank you. Easy, man.
I love it. I love, like, Clay, he was like, I got this heel moment and I'm going to be a heel. But the guy who's the actual visionary called it.
He did.
He said they were going to win the NFC North.
He did.
He said Caleb would be the king of the North.
And the boos made sense there because they're in Green Bay. So there's that many Green Bay fans, and I'm supposed to believe there's that many Packer fans, and that's why Clay Matthews got booed. I think Clay Matthews is just sad that he's done playing and he doesn't get to play in this rivalry anymore now that it's a real rivalry.
Yes, that it's hot and it means something and
and
it's a fun thing. But that's
and like I want Green Bay fans saying, Chicago still sucks. I want those chants. I want all of that. I want that for these teams. As someone who covers the league now and kind of doesn't have teams anymore because it's hard to remain a fan when you have to be objective. I want this for the league. I want this for football. I want this rivalry to be contentious and petty and have all of these really fun, charged storylines. That's why we all love sports, isn't it?
Yep. And that's why your coach doesn't get a handshake. Cram it up your cram hole.
First of all, he did. It was a short one, but it was there.
It was very short.
Yeah.
So the third stage of grief is bargaining, a phase when you try to negotiate with a higher power, fate, or yourself to undo, delay, or lessen a loss.
Yeah. That's where they're at right now.
They're bargaining.
The next one was
anger?
be depression.
Depression.
Then anger.
Then anger. Okay, well, they'll get there.
I was going to say, get back to angry. Stay angry. I love it. I hope both of these fan bases are angry at each other. I mean, don't go out, and I'm not condoning violence. I'm just saying be angry and get into it.
Get into it is right.
The way I figure it is like they're definitely going to be the first game on the first Thursday night, right? Bears Packers, you would think. So I got at least another
Thursday night champs open up.
I know, but I think NFL may want to reconsider.
Maybe it's the Monday night game.
I would say it might be. I mean, the Bears got Monday night this year. An opening weekend.
That's true. Maybe it's Sunday night football.
Yeah, maybe it's Sunday night.
So I got 8 more months of relishing in
prime
this.
time though, especially if you're going. If the NFL is going to continue to follow the model of you open with some division rivals and then you end with division rivals, then Bears Packers is the obvious choice for a primetime slot.
I like it. Eventual champs open up on Thursday night. Bears Packers on Sunday night.
Yeah,
I'm calling it. I agree with you, Tanny.
Love that.
Get those two teams in prime time. And
what country are they playing in?
Well, that's up to Robert Kraft.
Where does he want the labor?
Our labor.